These are the 8 habits that stop you from making money online. These 8 habits, when you understand them and you start to actually create these habits as well, positively instead of negatively, will give you the best chance of making the money online that you truly deserve. Number 1, consuming more than you're creating. Too many people are scrolling on social media, watching other people's videos, spending hours and hours of screen time instead of actually creating their own content. And when it comes to creating, there should be 2 things that you create. Number 1, you need to create content. Number 2, you need to create conversation. That's what social media is for. It's for creating content to build trust and starting conversations to connect with the world. So here's what I want you to do. Go into your phone, go into the settings and find how much screen time you're using. It's probably going to shock you how much it is. And if you're building a business online and it's a small number, that's also a bad thing. What I want you to do is I want you to see how much on the apps that you're building, on the social media apps, how much time are you spending on the apps? Let's say it's 6 hours a week, for example. I hope that you're spending more than 3 hours a week creating content and having conversation. Otherwise, you're destined for failure instead of success. Number 2, being inconsistent. You've heard this a million times before, but here's the thing. You have consistency in your locker. You have consistency as a school because unless you don't brush your teeth every day, then maybe you're not consistent. But if you brush your teeth twice a day, every day, you are a consistent human being. You don't brush your teeth 14 times on a Monday and then don't bother brushing them for the rest of the week. You don't have 14 showers or 5 showers or 7 showers on a Monday and then not bother showering for the rest of the week. So make sure that you do something every single day, whether it's comments or stories or posts or conversations. Be more consistent because if you consume more than you create and you don't consistently show up, you're going to have a very yo-yo business. It's going to be up when you're present and down when you're not. Up when you're present, down when you're not. And it's going to be down more times than you're up. Number 3 is not learning sales or closing techniques. I'm not a natural salesperson. My dad said to me, hey, Frazer, if you like sales, you're going to love this business. If you don't like sales, you're going to love this business. It just depends on your nature. The majority of people want to make money online, but they don't like selling. So if you like selling, great. Sell. If you don't like selling, become obsessed with 2 things. Number 1, sharing information. And number 2, learning sales. You'll realize that selling is just serving. Selling is literally closing the transaction to open a transformation. Selling is helping people go through that transformation. That's where the money comes. People over profits, impact over impact, transformation over transaction. Got to get good at learning sales. How can you expect to make money online without serving someone? That's how you go to McDonald's, you give them money, they serve you the food. You go to Apple, you give them money, they give you a device that serves your entertainment, right? You go to the movies, you pay for a ticket, they serve you entertainment. Everything has a transaction that creates some level of transformation, right? It could be a health transformation. It could be not so great health transformation. It could be an entertainment transformation. So learn sales, master sales, because if you don't, or you don't share information with people, you're never going to make money online. Habit number 4 is overcomplicating things, right? Too many people, and this is the cycle, and bear with me because I like to do it fast. The more you think, the more you doubt. The more you doubt, the less you do. The less you do, the more you think. The more you think, the more you doubt. The more you doubt, the less you do. The less you do, the more you think, the more you think, the more you doubt, the more you doubt, the less you do, right? It's a vicious cycle. For those of you who overthink things, chances are it means you're doubting things, which means you don't do it. And perfectionism, you're never gonna win if you try and be perfect. I was watching an interview recently from the legendary tennis player, Roger Federer, and he said that he won only 54 of the points in the matches that he won. And he's one of the greatest tennis players of all time. Definitely one of the most classy tennis players of all time. That single hand backhand, oh my Lord, Federer is a legend. He only won 54%. Imagine that he didn't get onto the court because he only wanted to play if he got 100% of his points won. No, you're never going to win 100% of the points. 100% of your content isn't going to work. 100% of the conversations you have isn't going to work. 100% of the presentations that you do aren't going to work. 100% of the closing questions you ask aren't going to work. You're never going to get 100%. No one is perfect. And that's why messy action wins. If you fall in love with the mess becomes the message. The test that you go through becomes the testimonial, right? You have to go through the mess because it's relatable. And progression creates inspiration. You're not inspired by perfection. You're inspired when you see someone go from 0 to hero, loser to legend, disaster to master. That's what creates the inspiration that people lean in. So don't start when you're perfect because you'll never be perfect. Start now and show the world world, the mess that you're in, to one day get out of it, to really inspire the world. Number 5, this is a big one, neglecting personal development. Every single day. It shouldn't even be time in the diary. You should just every single day wake up, want to read a book, or go in the car and listen to an audio personal development. Or when you put the TV on, go onto YouTube and watch a keynote talk from a leader or a motivational speaker. Learning every single day, because your income is not dependent on what you want. It's all dependent on who you become. I remember when I got started in this entrepreneurial space, my dad was my mentor. I went down to my dad in his office and I said, Dad, I need some goals. He said, well, what do you want? I said, Dad, I would really love to make $300 a month. I wanted it because I just wanted to pay off my student loan. And he challenged me and, to think bigger and want to play bigger. But he then ended up saying to me, once we got to a number of about $100,000 a year, he said, Frazer, it's not based on what you want. It's based on who you become. Who you become will determine what you get in the future. If you know a lot and you've become an important person, you will earn an important income. If you become a serious person of influence, you will earn a serious income. So he asked me to write down 3 words that describe who I was in that moment. And I wrote down kind, caring, and friendly. And I was so happy with those words. And my dad said to me, those 3 words, they describe you well. I would agree. That's the reason why you're not going to make $100,000 a year. And I was like, what? So I've got to change? He said, yep. Jim Rohn said it best. For things to change, you got to change. For things to get better, you've got to get better. He said, I want you to imagine that in 10 years, people describe you in 3 words. What 3 words do you want them to be? And I thought about it for about 24 hours. I went away, slept on it, thought about it some more. And I said to my dad, I know what the 3 words are. I want to be a person of value. I want to be inspirational. And I want to show up with massive amount of energy. And he was like, wow. He said, are you doing that right now? I said, no. He said, what are you going to do? And I ended up creating a daily method of operation that meant every single day I brought value to people. I shared my inspirational story and I had massive amount of energy with everything that I did. And lo and behold, 9 to 10 years after, people were coming up to me and saying, Frazer, I love the value you give. I love your inspiration. I love your energy. Where'd you get it from? And I turned to my dad and I said, Dad, I've done it. I can't believe it. I've done it. He said, Frazer, as soon as you wrote those words down, you'd done it because you decided that those were going to be the words that describe you and you lived your life with those 3 words in mind. Blew my mind. So you have to be obsessed with personal development to become the person you need to be in order to earn that money online. Next habit, not following up. The fortune is in the follow-ups. You're not going to make a fortune by following up once. You have to understand the majority of the transactions and the sales that you make will come 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th time of connection. Now, the great thing about social media is that if your content aligns with one message consistently, you will create credibility, more trust, and that will act as a subtle follow-up. But you can't rely on that because you can't be sure that the people that you're following up with have seen all your content. If you're talking about travel, talk about travel in all your content because longevity creates credibility. The longer someone sees you do the same thing for, the more money that you'll make. If you start talking about travel, then fashion, then food, then dogs, then cats, and people aren't going to have credibility with that. So you have to talk about the same thing over and over and over again, but ensure that you're following up with people every week or every month or every 90 days to give yourself the best chance of making more sales online. The follow-up is where it's at. It's not about constant scrolling on social media. It's not about constant watching new Netflix shows. It's about making sure that you create content, create conversation, do personal development every day, and follow up. This is a big one. This is what I had a problem with. Talking too much. The word silent and the word listen have the exact same letters, just rearranged. And what I used to do is I used to hate the idea of selling so much that I talked so much. I sold it, but because I was talking so much, I ended up buying the product back or the business back, right? I'd be like, that person's like, yeah, I'm in. But I talked so much that they were like, I can't deal with this guy. He talks way too much. I'm out. I don't want to join. And I used to say to my dad, I said, listen, they have to speak more than you. If you ask a question, why do you want that? And then they go, and why is that important? And why do you want more of that in your life? Then you'll win. But if they say, I don't know, and then you go, if they're super short and you're super long and you're speaking the majority of the time, you're not going to win. You need to be really good at listening. You have to be really good at being silent. You have to. Otherwise, people feel that you think you matter more than they do. And in sales, especially making money online, you're going to win when that person feels that they're going to get more benefit from you than you're going to get from them. They'll join or they'll buy. When they feel that you will win more than they will win, they won't. And that's the game of sales. That's the game of making money online, is truly making sure they they feel that they're going to get more benefit than you are. And you do that by listening, staying silent, asking better questions. You'll get better answers. And the last one. This is kind of an obvious one, but I need to say it. It's quitting too soon. So many people quit before payday. So many people quit before payday. Their breakthrough is so close, but they quit because they're on a breakdown. And the breakthrough usually comes either just after a breakdown or when you break free from your current environment. Albert Einstein says the 8th wonder of the world is compounding. I believe the 9th wonder of the world is delayed gratification. Not only should you keep working and working and working and working and working to get the compound effect in your favor, but when you get the success and you start making the money online, delay the gratification for as long as you can, because as soon as you get the thing that you wanted to get, that burning desire ends up dying. And that level of hunger dips. The level of desire that you have dips. The level of ambition dips. And you won't move at the same pace with the same excitement because you've already got the things that you want. That's why you need to delay the things that you want for as long as you can to make sure you keep that burning desire to get the compound effect working, and you'll win. I hope those different habits will help you make more money online. Make sure you turn the negative habits into the positive ones, and you will win. So if you haven't done so already, do me a massive favor, smash the subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.